everybody. I'm Cassidy, one of your Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders, and you're watching the Bleav in Colts podcast.
Welcome back to Bleav in Colts. I'm Lawrence Owen. With me, as usual, is my guy, Rodney McLeod and Jerraud Powers. And we have a great preview ahead of you. We've got a huge divisional matchup with the Tennessee Titans coming up this upcoming week, and we got to break that down, right? Rodney, how have you been?
Been good, man. Enjoying myself, enjoying the week. Off to a great start, and looking forward to this upcoming Sunday, man. How about you guys?
Jerraud?
Been good, man. Happy, we're coming off a good Chiefs win. Now we're about to get ready for a rivalry, a divisional rivalry, two teams that hate each other. So looking forward to this Sunday.
Absolutely. Guys, if you watched this past Tuesday's review and you're like, these guys had the same clothes on. Hey, we had to record this on the exact same day. So give us a break. All right. I mean, my man, Rodney McLeod, he's got games to prepare for. So, we have to record on Tuesdays on both of them. So just keep that in mind and don't think that, we all only have one outfit. Okay. So speaking of that, please don't forget that Bet Online, right? Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, events, and first to market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code Bleav50, that's BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Well, Jerraud, Rodney, we got Mike Vrabel and Ryan Tannehill and this one running back that we have had issues with for the last couple of years. They have had the Indianapolis Colts number the last while. Last year, they swept the Indianapolis Colts. How important, Rodney, is this upcoming game?
Man, it's very important. Not only because of the history, divisional opponent, but even more so because it's the next game. That's how we have to treat it. But at the end of the day, we know these division opponents count as two, right? It ultimately determines where you end up at the end of the season. Everything that we've set out, that we're trying to accomplish goes through our division. We handle our division games. We handle our games at home. And, obviously we want to win every game possible. But if you split on the road, man, you put yourself in the best position possible and you get yourself a ticket in, to the dance. And so we have a huge challenge ahead of us this upcoming Sunday for the individuals you just spoke about. Vrabel being a great coach, former player, man, physical, and that's what he breathes there in Tennessee. And so you have Derrick Henry, everything runs through him on offense. And we know that whether it's in the run game, screen game, they're doing a lot, even, getting the ball to him, dumping it down to him, getting the ball in space. So we have to be a great tackling team this week. Population to the ball is going to take all 11 men, to get the job done this week, as always. But even more so, we have to, make them place that fear into them, honestly. And I think, when they look at film, man, they'll see the way we swarm to the ball. And you have to remind them and keep that on their mind each and every week. But I like matchups like this. It's a division game. You know what you're going to get. They know us. We know them very well. And it's at home. So we're going to bring our best, man, and we're going to go out there and do what we do.
Jerraud.
Yeah, man, important game. Like you said, every divisional game counts as two. And when the Titans over the past couple of years have kind of owned the the rivalry a little bit. It kind of gives you a little edge, going into the building, knowing what's at stake. And if you take care, I know every team at the start of the season lists their goals, what you want to accomplish during the course of the year. And every team lists winning their division as one of the goals because it guarantees you a spot in the dance, like Rodney said. So everybody knows how important this game is and that we need it. Us time with Houston, this is definitely almost like a must-win game to kind of, propel yourself into the division. But, with Derrick Henry coming into town, Titans coming off of like a slow start as well, trying to figure things out. I think you got two, monsters getting ready to go against each other, and just both teams ready to break out of this like little smoke start that both teams is having. They coming off a big win with the Raiders. Against the Raiders, we're coming off a big win against the Chiefs. And now I think both teams probably have an idea of how they want to, go forward with after coming off of big wins. And it's kind of, exciting to see what's going to happen on Sunday because both teams kind of got their back against the wall still.
So, Rodney, the Indianapolis, you guys, I keep saying the Colts, but I'm just going to say you guys. You guys just came off that big victory on the first home game of the season, and then you're going to have another home game against that divisional rival. How important was getting that win in week 3 to kind of try to carry over that energy from the crowd into week 4 against this divisional opponent?
Yeah, it's very important, man. One of my former teammates, LeGarrette Blount, when he came to Philly, one thing that he said, I think after we won, I think we may have won the first week, lost to the Chiefs week 2, and then we came back week 3 and we won and got things rolling. But he said winning is contagious, man. And that feeling that you have after you win a game, you want to continue to have that sort of feelings and emotion, right? And so for us, I think that gave us that seed of confidence, knowing that we are the team that we thought we could be, and it wasn't perfect, but at the end of the day, as long as you have a win at the end of the game, that's all that matters. And so now you just take that and you propel yourself into the next week, and it's a great feeling to be back at home, knowing who's coming in. We're talking about the Tennessee Titans, man. What they did to us last year. Of course, I wasn't a part of that, but I feel that, and I embrace that, right? And them sweeping us last year, and now us having our first opportunity to be able to change, I'm saying, the course of history, and now to write our own story as this, 2022 Colts. What is our story going to be and our legacy for this season? And I'm excited to go ahead and get into this week, be able to leave a great mark versus a great team, to be honest, who's honestly been having very successful seasons over the past few years, and have great players. And so it's gonna be a challenge. But I know we're up for it, and looking forward to getting back in Lucas Oil Stadium come Sunday.
Jerraud? Thank you for watching Jerraud Powers and I here on Bleav in Colts, part of the Bleav Podcast Network. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and tag that notification bell so that you're notified next time we upload a video or go live. And don't forget, you can hit that little red share button, help us out a lot with exposure and getting our stuff out to more fans. Now, let's get back to the video.
Yeah, definitely going to be a challenge. Definitely going to be a good game. Me being a defensive guy, of course, I respect Tennessee's defense. They got a great defense. Don't get me wrong. I love our defense. But what I'm excited to see is who's going to stop what running back, because I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the tale of the game. Like Rodney said, we know who we got coming to town. The 2-time leading NFL rusher, or 3-time, whatever it is, all the records Derrick Henry and broke over the past few years. And now you got Jonathan Taylor, who over the past couple of years been trying to take that crown from Derrick Henry as the best running back in the league. And now you got these two great running backs getting ready to go against two great defenses. And I think at the end of the day, whoever win that rushing battle, whoever is able to run the ball a little bit more is probably going to come out on top, because both teams really have to rely on the run to get the offense going anyway. So like Rodney says, definitely going to be a major challenge for us to, line up, get Derrick Henry stopped so we can make them one-dimensional, which right now their wide receiver core and their passing game might be the weakness of their offense. So we would rather put it in Tannehill's hand than let Derrick Henry control the game. And I know vice versa, we want Jonathan Taylor to have success running the ball so we can put it in his hands rather than at the end of the game praying for Matt Ryan to have a magical drive for us to win within the last minute of the game. So I'm excited to see Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry kind of, battle it out on who can get the run game going for either side.
So I got a question for you, Rodney. What's the defense talking about on the sideline? What's their mentality? How do they get themselves amped up when the offense is sputtering at times, when you're sitting there and you're like, all right, so the offensive line is having problems right now, and you see that a little bit. I'm sure that the Colts offense and the coaches and the players are doing their best to try to fix and alleviate that situation. But as a defensive player sitting there on the sideline, knowing you're about to go back on that field, what are you guys doing to amp yourselves up in order to get another 3 and out?
And gas up. Gas up, man. Yeah, pretty much, man. That last week, man, that second half was tough. I'm on the sideline getting everything possible, from pickle juice to electrolytes. You know what I'm saying? It really felt like a true boxing match. I'm going to my corner for a short period of time, and now I'm back up and like, let's get to it. You feel me? We throwing blows. But at the end of the day, man, all we could worry about, we could control what we could control. And that's what we talk about as a defense. We control the points that they put up on the other side. And so we feel like, man, look, you give us 3, we're going to hold them. We got to keep them out, right? They can't score. You allow us 10, okay, like we know what we have to do. Our job is to prevent them from scoring. Our job is to set up our offense, create turnovers, create great field position. And we're understanding, I think, slowly, ultimately, like what type of team we probably, who we are. And so that's all you can really focus on, man. And it's an ultimate team sport. There are times, obviously, offense did an amazing job last week, putting that drive together. And what they really did in particular was bleed that clock. You don't know how important that is. Jerraud will tell you, I mean, we want defense. I accept that challenge, right? And the game is on us at the end of the day. But there's certain times when you like, look, you got a Tom Brady, you got a Patrick Mahomes, man. You want to leave as little time on the clock as possible. And I'm telling you, on that sideline, as I watch, my guy Matty Ice go to work, man, I just kept looking at that clock. And, we're on the sidelines talking about their 2-minute routes and what to expect, because there was no doubt that we knew we were going to score. It was just, how much time was going to be on the clock and what type of situation are we now going to be placed in. But, yeah, man, it's when you're on defense, all we can worry about is preventing them from scoring and doing our job at the highest level.
Jerraud, okay, so I want to talk to you about this a little bit here. All right, so he talked about that final drive by Matty Ice. If you look and watch that game, you actually see him in the huddle. You see his eyes. I have recognized that look before. Back when your playing days, when Peyton Manning, you just saw it click when he had a bad game, and in the fourth quarter on that final drive, it's like, bam, I just recognize this defense. I know what's going on. We're about to drive and score and win this game. What's it like as a defensive player when you're sitting on the sideline and you see something like that come from your veteran quarterback and you're just like, oh, man, we're about to win this game?
man, I'm telling you, Lawrence, even though all the players got sideline seats, normally you don't really get to see what the other side is doing within the course of a game. Normally when you come off the field, defense is you're going to your respective position groups. You're going over the last plays. You're going over future adjustments. Like Rodney said, coaches are trying to get you ready for the upcoming situation. So you don't really got time to kind of see everything that's going on. So you're peeking up at the Jumbotron, just trying to see like kind of what's going on, but you don't know exactly, all the things going on. Like you don't know Matt Ryan has figured out the defense. You don't know that, Jelani is being covered by somebody that might be 6-7 inches shorter than him, and he got a big body that we can, you don't see all. The only thing you're hoping is, man, we better score, and it better be little time left on the clock because we know who we got on the other side of you. So like when Rodney says, he's watching the clock, at the end of the day, he's basically saying, like, you only can control what you can control. As a defensive player, you've been taught since a kid, defend every blade of grass. You should want to get back on the field. You should want, so you can't control if the offense turn the ball over. You can't control if they score fast. You can't control any of it. The only thing you can do is prepare yourself to get ready to go back out there. But when the game is on the line, and we're driving it, and now we're in the red zone, and you watching the clock, it's only a few seconds left or whatnot. Everybody is on their feet just hoping for a score. You don't care how we get it. You don't care what's going on. You're just hoping that you can score. So when we get back on the field as a defender, we got the lead, and it's our job, like Rodney said, to protect that lead.
Going into a game against the Titans, we've already discussed it. Obviously, stopping the run is so important, especially against a guy like Derrick Henry. But does the defense prepare for stopping a running back of Derrick Henry's stature a little bit differently than they do when they go up against, say, a CEH or that style of running back? Do you practice a little different? Do you do stuff a little bit differently?
You might put on an extra pad or two under your shoulder pads. You might do that. But other than that, Rodney will tell you, other than that, you're just trying to get better at what you've already been doing. I mean, you're not going to do anything differently to get Derrick Henry down. I mean, you just hope that it's a game tackle. Like you said, you hope everybody gets to the ball. I mean, one of the reasons why Derrick Henry is who he is because his whole life, he's never let just one person tackle him. It's not just because he's been in the NFL. That's how he was in college. That's how he was in high school. It's just that's who, that's what make Derrick Henry who he is. So when you talk about us stopping him, we just got to get better, in my opinion, at what we do, making sure every gap is filled, making sure, we're containing the ball, making sure that the leverage is there, making sure the force players is where they need to be. So when they're running their different runs, their powers, their, bucks, whatever the run is, you game plan to defend the run, not necessarily a guy. Because if Derrick Henry wasn't at running back and they had another running back in, they'll be running these same runs at the end of the day. So you just want to prepare within the game plan to make sure everybody is where they need to be. And hopefully if you see Derrick Henry coming on your side and it's a one-on-one tackle, in your mind, you're probably praying that it's some other guys running to the ball as well. Quick story. I remember when my rookie year, we're playing Jacksonville and it's Maurice Jones-Drew. And I remember coming from Auburn, and I'm just like, man, I've hit everybody high my whole career at Auburn. We faced Darren McFadden, like all these top running backs. In college, they teach you, like, you got to kind of be tough in college. So everybody used to hit high, take their shots. I remember my first game, Antoine Bethea was just like, hey, man, like if Maurice Jones come to your side, like, do not hit him high. He might paralyze you. Jokingly, he said that. Man, they had a nub formation. They blocked down with the tight end, which everybody makes corners tackle in the NFL. They blocked down with the tight end. It's me and him one-on-one, and I give him my shot. When I got up off the ground, he was running down the field, and I couldn't feel the left side of my body, and that changed my outlook on tackling in the NFL for the rest of my career. I started diving at ankles, grabbing knees, and all that type of stuff. So when you talk about Derrick Henry coming up, trust me, guys know not to hit him high if they can't hit him high. So they're going to know to hit him low when they need to hit him low at the end of the day.
This channel is proudly sponsored by the Backroom Collection. They do beautiful sports canvas art with football, basketball, baseball, and other sports themes. Special orders are accepted and autograph pieces are available. Many Indianapolis Colts signed pieces will be available beginning in November. Just use your discount code CL10 to purchase the pieces you want to spice up your living area. That's CL10. Rodney, have you had a welcome to the NFL moment like that?
Definitely. My rookie year, special teams guy. I was playing gunner. We used to do gunner motion a lot. And I remember we were playing the Arizona Cardinals, and we put it on tape a lot, so they watched their film. They had a plan. And so I'm getting advice. I come down, I'm getting ready to get up the field. And literally, the minute I shoot up field, within 5 yards, there's a guy like sitting right there. And at that point, like I said, I have a vice outside, and I have a guy right here. And like he just cleans me, you know what I'm saying? Like forearm shiver, like one of those old school. And I'm like, God, like all I can do is just, you got to get up off the ground. You got to get up off the ground, keep running, you know what I'm saying, till the play's over. But I said, geez. And at safety, unfortunately, every person on defense has been ran over before. You just don't know when that moment is going to happen. You play the game long enough, it's going to happen to you, no matter how much trash talk, you know what I'm saying, or how much you believe in your tackling abilities, you're going to get got. And I think I got in the middle of the field. We were playing New York Giants back in my St. Louis Rams days. And forget the running back, but he was from Boston College, I feel like. Maybe forget his name. But anyway, man, he caught me good, put that thigh pad underneath. It didn't even hurt, to be honest with you. It just was one of those like, oh shoot. And like Jerraud said, man, you look back and you like, dang, dude's still running. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good feeling, man. It's a humbling one. I'll tell you that for sure.
Absolutely. I get it. I mean, everybody has that, no matter what position you play, offense, defense, special teams. At some point, you're going to get got, as you said. So, that's just something you learn from, especially like what you talked about, Jerraud. You learned at that point, there are certain guys that you just don't tackle high.
No, Marshawn Lynch is another guy too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I learned my lesson as a youngster, so I always had that. Kind of helped me for the rest of my 9-year career. So,
all right. So the Colts have had their history with injuries. Every team has their history with injuries, and that's no different going into this game against the Titans. Rodney, you got some guys that are nursing a few things. Obviously we know that our man Julian Blackman went out this past Sunday. I don't know exactly what's going on with him. I haven't heard the reports or anything, but how important is that next man up mentality on the team when it comes to stepping in and filling a role of a guy like a playmaker, obviously that Julian Blackman is right now?
It's huge. That next man mentality is real, and you never know when it will present itself. Whether it's week 2, whether it's a playoff game, and what we talk about every week is making sure that you are ready for your moment, and you are prepared. And that's credit to not only the players, but that's credit to the coaching staff as well. And I think it shows when somebody can come in at any moment in time and things still look alive and you're still having success. And that only makes your team that much better when you have great depth like that, because injuries are going to take place. And really, it helps breed, the competition brings out the best in everybody too. And so, when you look at JB going down on Sunday and Rodney Thomas coming in, man, and playing, I think around 50 snaps and making some very impactful plays, to be that young and understanding the magnitude of the game, and to come in off the bench cold, and not flinch, man, is huge. And that's just, like I said, credit to not only him preparing himself as such, because it's hard when you go throughout a week, and Jerraud knows starters get majority of the reps. So, if you're a backup, you're maybe getting 2 reps a period, if that. And so it's really, a lot of it is the mental game that you're playing, taking those walkthrough reps, being in the back, following, whoever you're behind, and making sure that you are getting those mental reps and treating them as if you're out there on that field. And so you saw that really come into fruition on Sunday for a guy like Rodney Thomas, who's able to step in and make big plays for us. And so we're going to have to lean on a lot of guys. I'm not sure when the next opportunity is going to come for somebody else, but it's going to happen. And the thing is, are we going to be ready for that moment? And are you going to take full advantage, of it, to be honest?
Okay. Jerraud, do
Man,
you have anything?
You brought up Rodney Thomas, man, and I've been high on Rodney. I thought he had a great preseason. The way he plays, he flies around. And when he came in, just to see him make some of them tackles, I don't think people understand how difficult a safety job is in the run game, especially when runs spurter out certain balls in the open field. Like, you want your safeties to be sure tacklers. And the one thing I've noticed from Rodney since, he's been drafted here, he don't second guess when it comes to tackling. He's shooting his gun. He's flying around. He's diving. He's a for sure tackler. I think he's proven that over the course of the preseason, and just to see him get into the game. And like you said, he don't blink, look like he belonged. He knew what was going on. I'm pretty sure in the middle of the game, he's probably asking a lot of questions. That's the part that fans don't see when players come in the game, just the communication part. Hey, Rodney, hey, what I got? Hey, what's the call? What's the check? I know all that stuff was going on, but just to see him kind of be calm and handle all that pressure, that's a big-time game to come in and play 50 snaps when your starter goes down at safety. That's a premier position when you're talking about the defense. So the fact that he was prepared enough says a lot about the coaches, but it tells you a lot about who he is as a player. Because like Rodney said, every period during practice, he might get 1 to 2 reps. So the coaches are really expecting the backups to get every mental rep that they possibly can during that course of the week. And a big thing that helped those guys prepare is the film study. And him coming from the Ivy League school that he come from, I'm pretty sure he turns over every leaf possible to make sure he's on point with the game plan.
So now our superstar linebacker, Shaquille Leonard. Now we know that he hasn't been able to play yet. He's practicing, which is good to see, and all that. And we're all crossing our fingers and hoping that he'll be able to play this Sunday. But he has been on the sidelines for every game this year. What's he been doing out there on the sidelines during the games to help the defense out?
Yeah, Shaq has been bringing his leadership, man. And his energy is so contagious. I see why they call him the maniac, because at practice, man, every single day, he's just like so emotional, very upbeat, very positive, man. And so when you feel that, man, it brings something, it creates something inside you, what I'm saying, as well as a player. But I think on Sundays, what he's bringing is his leadership, but also his football IQ. I think it was Jacksonville we're playing, and we come into halftime, and he pulls a few of us aside, and he's really breaking down how every P and 10, for some reason, Jacksonville was either running the ball to the left, everything was going to the left. And the minute we come out of halftime, I think they did the same thing. They may have ran like stretch to the left. And I looked at him, I'm like, bro, like, you're on point, and he went through a series and kind of identifying that. And that just shows you why he is who he is. Obviously, we know his playmaking ability, but right now, of course, he can't do that being on the field. So how else can you contribute? And right now, his voice, his energy matters, and his leadership and his IQ and his eyes that he's seeing on the sideline is very helpful for us, as we're going through it. And he's challenging us, right? Like reminding us, keep the ball on your mind, and how to possibly create a turnover, things that he's seeing, whether the ball's being exposed by this certain player, or look, this tendency, or look, we can take a step here and put you in, better position. So he's very engaged, very active. Of course, he has the mic on, so he's very in tune with what's going on. And it's obviously, I'm sure important for him to be there, not only for other guys but more so for his LBs.
All right.
Lawrence, you was talking about if guys, listen to the media or whatnot. I know you saw what Shaq said after the game. Everybody keep that same energy. So you have some guys that pay attention to what people are saying in the media. But Shaq, man, I just can't wait till him get back on the field with the defense. Seems like the defense starting to find this groove, and once you plug another playmaker, man, it's gonna make Rodney's job a whole lot easier as well when he's back out there.
Absolutely. I think we're coming up on the end of this preview for the Colts Titans. And look, Rodney, I'm not gonna put you out there on an island when it comes to making a game prediction, because obviously your mentality is you got to win this game, right? So I'm not gonna
1,000%.
ain't gonna put you out there on that one. But give me, all right. So before Jerraud and I give our predictions for this game, who is the number 2 guy on this offense that you really have to focus on, you think, against the Titans?
I would say Robert Woods and Ryan Tannehill. Those two, obviously, when you talk about stopping the run, and if we do that, and when we do that, it will be on us in the back end to ensure that we contain Robert Woods, and we also apply pressure on Ryan Tannehill when he drops back, knowing that they will run the ball, they'll take their play action shots. So we have to now eliminate explosives and make the plays that come to us when an opportunity presents itself.
Awesome. Jerraud, what's your prediction for this coming Sunday game at 1:00?
You went with a low score last week, and it was a lot of low scores across the league when you watch games. So I think I'm going to go more of the low score side, and I'm going to say 24-17 Colts.
Oh, I think that the Indianapolis Colts continue their streak on having a great run defense. Now, you're not going to stop Derrick Henry on every single play, right? But if you get him to 50 to the 75-yard range, you won the day against him, period. And I think the Colts defense will do that. And I think that that's going to help dramatically when it comes to defending the pass, as Rodney was talking about with guys like Robert Woods and them. I think that the Colts defense will be able to hold their offense to 14 points. I think that's a reasonable. I have a lot of faith in this Colt. Don't let me down, Rodney. All right. But I think our offense. I'm sorry. What?
I said you putting that pressure on Rodney on the spot now.
Yeah,
he is.
Well, it's not just Rodney, right? I mean, it's the whole defense. Rodney could, as we talked about earlier, Rodney could play a perfect game, and if somebody makes a mistake, that's 7 points, right? So, but I think the Colts offense is slowly starting to figure it out a little bit. If they can just figure out a little bit more on that offensive line to help with Jonathan Taylor, giving him a little bit clearer lanes, and with protecting Matt Ryan so he's not got someone directly in his face 4 or 5 times a game, right up the gut. I think that this Colts offense has a lot of good playmakers on it. I think they could score some points. Now, we thought Mike Vrabel's a great defensive coach. He's a great, and he knows how to fire that defense up, man. I have a ton of respect for Vrabel. Okay. But man, I think the Colts figure a few things out. I think they'll be able to get things rolling. I think they win double digits this game. I think the Indianapolis Colts, I think this is going to be a 27-14 victory for the Indianapolis Colts.
All right. I like it. I don't think that's as bold as last week's take, so I like that.
All right. Well, not many people had the Colts holding the Chiefs down offensively. So I will pat myself on the back a little bit.
Hey.
And you could pat yourself a little bit there, Rodney, because you did the job on the game, right?
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
that. Even that, like that stop. When the special teams held them down at the goal line at the 1-inch line, I noticed when Grover got in the backfield and tackled him, CEH for no gain, you were right there standing over it, right? I watched you. All right. You were there. If that tackle did not happen, you was ready for it. So that's heck yeah. All right. That's it for today. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Jerraud. Guys, make sure you check this out. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. If you're listening this to one of your audio podcasts, make sure you subscribe to that as well. Share this to your favorite social media. I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Rodney McLeod and Jerraud Powers. This was Bleav in Colts, brought to you by Bet Online. And until next time, as usual, go Colts.
Do you believe?